Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle, Reiki, spiritual healer. So, some people have been asking me about how to reestablish myself. How am I reestablishing myself? And the first thing that you have to understand is that your cutoff game has to be fire. It has to be on point, no turning back, mean what you say, and stand on it. So we have an understanding of what we want, but we also have to know how we're going to get there. So I want you to have a understanding of some of the things that you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to relearn some of the things that you thought you knew. Some of those things being that your colonizer has given you something good, a religion, food, a way of life, and let's discuss some of that. Let's dive into some of that. That some of your parents who bought into the idea that Jesus is going to die for your sins, that someone has already sacrificed themselves for you. It's simply not true. It's simply not true. That is a way to make you docile, to make you into a non-believer, in order to give your soul over into the entity so that they can have your gifts, in order for you to start sacrificing your children, your husband, your home, and all those things, your wife, your children, and all those things that's sacred to you. You're supposed to sacrifice those things for your entity so that he can reward you with something, negative. So we're understanding that when you have become an entertainer and you have given your gifts over into the entity, and they were not your gifts to give, they belong to God, then you are held accountable. As we see a lot of these entertainers, their kids are under wrath and punishment because they have made this deal with the entity to sacrifice their children, to sacrifice their family. And I cannot say this enough. When you want to reestablish yourself somewhere else, you're going to have to make sacrifices with something that you love. Those people who have been in your life that you want to be around, that they have been giving you negative energy, that they have been teaching you false doctrines, that they have been teaching you how to hate your family, your wife, that you don't have to go home at night. You can just stand on the block and do nothing and be nothing, that you don't have to do anything in your home besides look good. You do not understand that you will have to sacrifice that money that you love. You will have to sacrifice that relationship that you love in order for you to move forward and reestablish yourself. You will have to make sure that you're working on yourself. You're working and developing your gifts. Whatever God has been inspired in you, then you will definitely need to start working towards that way. Whether it is leaving that job and starting your own job, whether it is calling your power back from those people who have been taking your power, and it's 444 as I'm saying that. So we have an understanding. We have an understanding that when you are reestablishing yourself, what I did was, like I say, my cutoff game is fire. Once I warned you that, you're not going to demean me, you're not going to belittle me. I'm not any of those family members. I'm not my mother. Okay. I don't warn you, I don't just speak idly. If you're my husband, I did not come here for you to try to show out or, belittle me in front of someone in order so that you can feel better about yourself. I didn't come here for that. I can go somewhere else. When I came to you, I was looking for a husband. I was looking for a companionship. But, I'm not dependent. I'm not, a child. I'm not dependent upon you. Okay. So let's get that straight. A lot of you got to understand, when you came to those jobs, you were looking for a job. You were looking for some money. You're not going to belittle me or demean me while I'm here. I've had many jobs that I've had to, really just, let them know, you don't pay my car note. I'm not running all over the place for you in my car. What do you get paid for? If you're the general manager and I'm the assistant, then that means that you need to run around. You get paid more than I do. And just look at you. So you're going to have to use common sense. You're going to have to sacrifice, some of those things that you love. That alcohol, those addictive behaviors, that marijuana. You're going to have to, sacrifice that relationship that you're not married to him or her and y'all been in a relationship over 10 years. You're going to have to sacrifice that and say, it's time for me to go. I cannot grow with you because, I'm saying, the abomination that we're in, and that's what it is. This plague that we're in, this relationship, the evil entities that are attached to you, you want the benefit of having a husband. You want the benefit of having a wife, but you don't want to get married. So you don't deserve nothing. Just look at you. I'll see you. Okay. So this is where we are. When it's time for me, I got up in the middle of the night. It's time for me to go. I'm not going to keep telling you the same thing over and over, and I'm not going to keep warning you so that, you can have a rebuttal. Very simple. I don't want to hear anything. Once you're not moving towards it, once I don't see you trying to fix it, then I don't need anything else. I got everything I need. I'm out of here. See ya. And just look at you. Okay, so we have an understanding. If you're asking me how to reestablish, I put myself in position, and in order to move out of position, in order to move out of position with the entity that was trying to trap me in patterns, in a relationship with materialism, with people who didn't mean me any well, on the block, in relationships, family members or otherwise. So you can't, just get up and decide to leave unless God has willed that for you. So, you don't go on a mission without taking provisions with you. So, that's why you need to put yourself and set yourself up for success when you're separating and isolating from these narcissists, from these generational curses, from these demonic patterns and cycles that you're in. So this is how I was able to, move forward and reestablish myself, and start with stuff that's small. Start with something small, just saving your money. Saving your money in order to make sure that your mission is successful. For me, again, I'm just about running out of money, but, I have invested in you guys. I have invested in you guys so that, you have access to me. You can reach out to me. And, I withdrew all my money out of, my business. I withdrew all of my money out of my family members out of the bank, and I came on this mission in order to reinvest in myself so that I would have food, water, a place to stay when I needed to. I could get a hotel. If not, I could just stay in my car. So these are the understandings, that you do not reestablish yourself just to, you just leave and have nothing. You put yourself in a position for success. And that's what I have done on this mission. So I hope that you have received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. You can book your one-on-one life coaching sessions with me. You can book your video chat sessions with me. Like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. Reach out to me, book your consultations so that I can acclimate a gift to your situation, so we can move those stumbling blocks out of your way and you can reestablish yourself in another state, reposition yourself with another person, and attract the persons that you want in your life. I thank you all for your support. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.